4 dry tyres, so now we are in P4 in this race. So it's Hamilton, Sainz, Piastri, then us, then Albon, but as you can see, later on, what's happening everyone, TomGorian here, and welcome to episode 23 of the F1 23 Haas to Glory. This is race number 9 for the second season of the Haas to Glory, and we're coming back to Le Castellet in Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. We didn't race here last year, and now we're coming back for season 2 of the Haas to Glory. There is the drivers and the constructors standings. We are down by 15 to Sergio Perez, and we are also down by I think 52 points to Red Bull because of the previous video. Check that previous video out in the cards after you've watched this video, and if there's any other episodes that you've not watched or missed, then make sure to check out the playlist and also subscribe to the channel and click the notifications bell so that you never miss an upload if you like what you see. So there's not really been any upgrades, any major events happening since the previous episode, so we're back at the French Grand Prix. Let's head to the race weekend. So we are back at Paul Ricard circuit getting ready for the French Grand Prix. And I've only driven this circuit pretty much once on this game, and that was for RFL. I think it was race number 5 a couple of months ago. However, I do like the circuit, and I did like my chances of winning because I don't know why, it's just I always get the perfect setup for this circuit. But as you can see, our first lap we do a 1:28.734, which puts us 10th on the grid, which is just ahead of our teammate. But as we enter the final 54 seconds of qualifying here for race 9, the French Grand Prix, we are currently in P11 ahead of Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, and just behind the Red Bull duo of Sergio Perez and of course Max Verstappen, the two guys that were trying to fight for the championship. So turn 1 and turn 2, bit of an off-camber chicane, and we're slightly down by over a half a tenth. As we enter another chicane, turns 3 and turns 4, I went slightly wide in towards that corner, and now entering the double right-hander. And nailed that corner pretty much perfectly, and now 4th gear, you want to go 3/4 of the throttle as you make your way in towards the kink, and now on towards the Mistral straight, and we're down again by half a tenth. So I've noticed that this car isn't really a good qualifying car as we get ready for another chicane. Cut that apex absolutely perfectly as qualifying is now complete, and now we enter the end of sector 2 as we are just over a tenth up on our lap time, but we still need to find, I'd say, a good part of 4 tenths to try and find pole position as we enter this beautiful long right-hander corner. I love that corner. And then entering this long left-hander as we get ready for the final 2 corners. I did clip that apex there. That's something you don't want to do because it does unbalance the car. Entering the penultimate corner here, 4th gear and then 3rd gear for turning, and then 2nd gear, early shift into 3rd for rotation and traction. Stay to the left-hand side, and now it's all about just heading towards line. And it looks like we're going to be 3 tenths up on our time. However, it's only 9th place. It's only 9th place in the French Grand Prix, but however, you're going to see in a minute the gaps, and as you can see, look at the gaps, 3 tenths between the top 9, between Lewis Hamilton and ourselves, so it's really close. So we have a chance. Let's do this.
Here we are again then at Le Castellet for another round of this year's Formula One World Championship. Renault took their first French Grand Prix win all the way back in the inaugural race in 1906, but it was another 73 years before they could take their second. I'm sure Alpine will be pushing hard to delight the local fans here today. We have 15 corners here at the circuit, Paul Ricard, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, but the rain is coming down and making for a slippery racing surface. Luckily, there is plenty of runoff area available, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid bringing out a safety car during today's Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Albon, Thomas, Magnussen, Perez, Ocon, Verstappen, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Bottas, De Vries, Stroll, Joe, Tsunoda, and Logan Sargent. And now it's time to head down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Let's talk about Thomas. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, they've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far. But whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
Let's hope we can keep this run of momentum for the long term, as I welcome you to the French Grand Prix for round 9 of Season 2 of the Haas to Glory. It is raining for the French Grand Prix. We are on intermediate conditions. However, the good news for us is that it's going to be dry towards the second half of the stint. So it looks like we're going to be on mediums. Hopefully, it probably should be mediums for the second half of this race, as long as the safety car doesn't come out like the previous episode. We're going to be doing a one-stop from the inters to pretty much a dry tyre, either if it's hards or mediums. So the strategy is simple, and hopefully this race is also simple.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway. These are wet conditions here today. Each driver will no doubt be mindful of the wet surface as they prepare to race around the track. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
So here we are at a track that I really love on any F1 game. I'd say this is one of my top 5 circuits on any F1 game, just behind Spa, Canada, Spain, Silverstone. But yeah, P9 here in circuit Paul Ricard on intermediate conditions. It's a simple one stop. We're going to go from inters to a dry compound. It just depends when and where the rain dries up, and as you can see, it's starting to get lighter. There's no real signs of heavy drizzle here in Paul Ricard. But here we go, the French Grand Prix is back for 5 red lights. And here we go for the French Grand Prix. It's a slow start for myself and also Charles Leclerc as we're heading towards the up-cambered turn 1. Albon goes around the outside of Charles Leclerc and also George Russell, as I think Lewis Hamilton retains the lead as the two McLaren, actually no, it's Sainz and Piastri battling for second place as we've actually overtaken Leclerc. As we're heading towards turn 3, we're going to go inside of Alex Albon and also try and get George Russell. We can't do that as we head towards the double right-handers before the Michelin straight. We've had a great start. We've already made 3 positions at the start. We've overtaken Charles Leclerc and also Alex Albon as we cut in towards the end of the first lap. And as you can see, it's Hamilton, Sainz, Norris, and then it's Russell and then us as we try and overtake George Russell. We're going to go around the outside in towards the first chicane. Can we hold on, Ev, in towards the braking zone? We're going to try and be steady with the handling, and yes, we do. We do take 5th place here in the French Grand Prix, and yeah, it is Sainz, Piastri, Norris, then us, then Russell, then Leclerc for lap 4 of this race. And I'd say pace at this stage of the race, like the first 4, 5, 6 laps, it was very, very consistent. I will say that. I mean, obviously Russell was catching us on the straight, and we did have that slight lap where we had to go defensive. But apart from that, I was definitely competing with the AI as far as just lap time. And in the third sector, we was gaining, I'd say, around about 2-3 temps on that corner alone, and it's because I'm short shifting in towards 4th and 5th gear. There's a yellow flag somewhere, I don't know, but this is where this race changes. So Norris goes defensive, I go around the outside, we make a bit of contact on tyres there, entering the second corner, and there's a safety car right as we enter turn 2, and that is one of the most clutch overtakes I've ever done on any F1 game. We overtake Lando Norris as soon as the safety car comes out, and thankfully we don't have to give the position back, so that position is ours. So the safety car is out, and now we're going to see what everyone goes on. So the AI are on dry tyres, and there's a mix between mediums and hards. What are we going to go on? And we're going to go on the hard tyres, so we are banking that the tyres last the entire race, and hopefully the AI have to stop again. So it's lap 7. So as you can see, Norris and Russell, they are boxing right now for dry tyres. So now we are in P4 in this race. So it's Hamilton, Sainz, Piastri, then us, then Albon. But as you can see later on, what is this cheese? The F1 game screwed us. Look at where we are. We're P11. How has that happened? How on earth... Hang on. How is Verstappen and Perez 1-2 followed by Leclerc and Sainz? Hamilton was in the lead. How is Ocon in 6th? Why is Russell in 12th? And I have to check this. Look at this. Look at this shit. Magnussen's in 8th. We're in 11th. Lawson's in 10th. Verstappen and Perez are 1st and 2nd. They were behind us. How has that happened? Oh my... Codemasters EA, you hurt my brain. You actually hurt my brain. How have you been able to mess up the restart sequence for the safety car? You saw it. We was in P4. Hamilton was leading, and Piastri was in 2nd. We were in 4th, and now we're chucked down in towards 11th. And now, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of lap cars. There's a massive mess with lap cars. That's Nick de Vries and Logan Sargent. And now I'm battling Liam Lawson, 4th, 10th place here in France, when we should have been on the podium. That's annoying. That's another reason why F1 23 just simply isn't that enjoyable. It's just simple, common things like this. Red flags, and also safety car restarts, and the safety car order when the cars are restarting. As we go around the outside of Alex Albon, 4P9. But if you're watching this video, let me know if you have had this issue, as far as you were in a position, and then all of a sudden you were back a couple of positions. Now, I don't know if it's because of the broadcast camera setting that I have with the safety cars, which is why probably for the next video I'm going to probably change that, so that it is on immersive. But that's absolute bull. How I was in P4, I was getting ready for the restart. I could have won this race. I could have won this race because I'm on hards and some are on mediums. Maybe the AI have to stop again. I have no idea, but you know, it's so bull that we had a good start. We were fighting our way through, and then the safety car came out, and then we're in P4, and then later on the cutscene just scrambles all of the positions, and then the 2 Red Bulls who are behind us in the original safety car line are now ahead of us, and the 2 Ferraris. It really does hurt my brain as to how truly bad this game is, and I'm just tired of calling Codemasters out. It's so simple to try and just sort out things like red flags and just safety car restarts. They should be already sorted out already. We shouldn't be having to be dealing with this. However, I'm going to make a separate video just talking about my wish list for next year's game. But that's another problem with this game. So let's try and move on. The AI did a second stop for Verstappen, Sainz, Piastri and Leclerc. They all came in for a second set of mediums. And now I've stayed out for pretty much the remainder of the race. Our tyres are not going to, explode or anything. So we are now going to the end. This is now a legit race for the win. However, as you can tell, Verstappen in that Red Bull with fresh mediums compared to us on old hards, there is nothing we can do about the OP Red Bull of Max Verstappen. And yeah, as predicted, Max takes the lead of the French Grand Prix, and now we're going to try and survive for dear life as we enter the closing stages of the French Grand Prix. We're trying to hold on here, and this is what I was planning. I was trying to use most of my battery to try and hold on to Verstappen, because if I can have DRS and just keep the DRS from Verstappen, then chances are that'll help me in defence of Sainz and Leclerc in the Ferraris. But as you can see, lap 25 out of 27, I'm just now starting to struggle with the back end as we enter the Missile Straight and the kink there. And as you can see, both Ferraris are behind us. There goes Carlos Sainz in the first Ferrari, and then Charles is going to come at us in the sister Ferrari as we enter turn 8 of the chicane. We do defend from Charles Leclerc quite well, and that is P3 retained in this race. So now, entering the penultimate lap of this race, I'm trying to play this as smart as I can. I'm trying to set up the overtake on the last lap, but I know that, as you can see, look at Charles Leclerc. He's just absolutely all over us. I have to go defensive. I have to use Carlos Sainz slipstream and entering the chicane. I do defend off Charles Leclerc quite well, and now I've got the run on Carlos Sainz that I've been wanting all this time. So now this is where we're going to drain the battery. We're going to try and get the overtake sorted before the end of this race. We've only got 2 more sectors to go of this race, so it's now do or die. It's now or never between me and Carlos Sainz. The battle for second place, this could define who leads the championship at the end of this race. Around the outside we go of Carlos Sainz for second place, and there it is. We have officially taken second place here at the French Grand Prix, and that is where we are going to end up here at Le Castellet. It's a shame that safety car glitch really tried to screw us with the 11th place, because chances are we could have potentially won this race if it wasn't for that glitch. But Max Verstappen wins the French Grand Prix, but we're going to come home for a resilient second place here at France, and Leclerc tries to fight.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a really strong drive and a great finish. Well done.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Back in 2022, the new regulations came in with a promise of more wheel-to-wheel racing. That's exactly what we got today, and that has been the trend ever since their inception. Long may it continue.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race.
Well then, it's P2 for us here at Le Castellet after starting in P9, and we've done well. I definitely say we've done quite well. I mean, obviously, it's all because of the AI. They stopped again for another set of mediums, and in the end, it didn't really work to the way they wanted. I pretty much knew that if the only way I was going to stop again was if a safety car did come out for a second time. But I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed at that glitch. I'm annoyed of the simple issues that this game has and the simple bugs that can be fixed, and they just don't fix it. Apparently red flags, that hasn't been fixed, and now this as well. So it's just quite annoying when you're playing this game and you're expecting these issues to be fixed and ironed out, and they're not. But as you can see, we're now down by 5 to Sergio Perez as we head towards the next race in Season 2, the Hungarian Grand Prix for Episode 24. But Verstappen, then me, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Perez, Hamilton and Magnussen round out the top 8. But that is that for episode 23 of the Haas to Glory. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure to hit the like button, share, comment and subscribe to the channel for more F1 23 career mode content and more F1 content in the near future. I'm going to be doing some live content as far as the end of the season and all of that other stuff. But yeah, Albon and Ocon round out 8th and 9th. So yeah, on to Hungary. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, share, comment and subscribe for more F1 23 content, and I'll see you all in the next video in a bit.